In this demo, we'll look at mobility and some of the key telephony enhancements that are visible to the end user in Microsoft Lync Server 2010. First, let's meet Scott. Scott is traveling for a roadshow for the product they are releasing. It is late in the day and he is catching up on his emails from a coffee shop. If Scott had been in his office, Lync would set his location automatically from the company's IP database. As he is in a coffee shop, he chooses to set his location. Lync remembers his location. If he connects from the coffee shop again, Lync will set his location automatically. The internet connection in the coffee shop is particularly slow, and the connection has already disconnected several times. Scott decides to make a test call to ensure that the call quality is optimal before he talks to customers. Although the sound quality from Scott's laptop is very good, Scott does not want to disturb other people in the coffee shop, so he chooses the headset option. Scott does not need to configure the headset. At any time during the call, Scott can connect an audio device and switch to the new audio device without the need for configuration prior to use. Scott sees the alert for an incoming call. He notices that it is from April Stewart. April could have dialed Scott's office extension. Lync Server 2010 automatically routes the call to Scott's laptop. Without requiring any additional setup on Scott's part, calls follow Scott anywhere, as long as he has internet access and is signed in to Lync 2010. Scott does not want to take the call right then, as he is busy dealing with a very urgent problem. He simply diverts the call to voicemail, knowing the message will not only be stored in Exchange, but also automatically be transcribed and show up in his Outlook and Lync 2010. Scott sees the alert for the voicemail and plays back the message. He also has an option to view it using Outlook transcription, a very handy feature when triaging or when unable to play back the message. April reminds Scott that while he is traveling, he should configure delegates who can handle calls on his behalf when he is not available. Scott configures alternative coverage, which enable his calls to be answered by colleagues instead of voicemail at times when he is unable to personally answer calls. Kai Axford calls Scott. Lync indicates that April Stewart is also ringing. Scott answers the call. Scott wants to add Adam Barr to the call. Scott can add people to the call by simply dragging them from Lync into the conversation window. Adam is not available, so Scott decides to add April instead. Scott knows that April is not intending to start work until 8 a.m. However, on her voicemail she told Scott that she would be available for a call if necessary. Since Scott is placing calls using the wireless internet connection via the coffee shop, the connection may become congested or deteriorate. Lync will warn Scott if there is a network problem and suggest a few options to address the issue. Scott chooses to record the call so that he can refer to the information later. Lync enables Scott to easily record the call and produce a file which Scott can easily share with colleagues, for example by placing the recording on a SharePoint site. Scott wraps up the day with the satisfaction of having another productive day thanks to the convenience of Lync Server 2010. To learn more, start a free trial, or find a partner, visit www.microsoft.com/Lync.